Cineacon well underway. We've already discussed the Resident Evil film. We are going to talk about Longlegs today getting a sequel. Yes, that is right. But here, right now, let's talk about Evil Dead Burn, which is the next film in the Evil Dead franchise, which I'm just like, we're getting Evil Dead Wrath apparently as well in 2028. We'll discuss that in a bit. Let's talk about Evil Dead Burn. What exactly did they showcase? And are we excited for this or not? Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. 50,000 subscribers is the goal. Let's talk Evil Dead Burn. By the way, today we are going to be seeing Lee Cronin's The Mummy. I'm a little bit scared because it's so close to release date. The embargo releases tomorrow, so no hope, but hopefully it's good in some capacity. So Warner Bros. Last night had their presentation. They showcased a lot. They talked about the new Conjuring film. They also talked about a Llorona sequel, which I have a whole conversation about that coming. Stay tuned. But they also revealed some new footage, including Dune 3 and also Evil Dead Burn. So this is a new film that is coming to us this summer. Let's read about it. So the film is directed by Sébastien Vaniček, who did a film called Infested or Vermin. I saw this film back at Fantastic Fest, I believe in 2024, and I thought it was fantastic at Fantastic Fest. Corny as hell, I know. But also Sam Raimi saw this film and said, this is the guy. This is who I want to make the new Evil Dead film. Now, I've read before that Lee Cronin was supposed to make a follow-up to his Evil Dead Rise, but insisted on doing The Mummy. And so now we have Sebastian doing his own interpretation, which is supposed to be the most brutal and gnarly Evil Dead film to date. And they always say that, of course, but nonetheless, we have an open mind going into all of these films, and we will see if it's great or not. So a description has been shared of the footage that was showcased last night in Las Vegas, and this is what it says. The trailer starts ominously with a mother unloading a dishwasher conspicuously full of sharp silverware. Yes, we are getting into the sharpness of this. But she's interrupted by a knock at the door. She opens it to reveal an undead corpse with chopped off fingers and a car headrest through their skull. She pulls out and drops on the floor before unleashing terror on the family. A flashback then shows a gnarly car accident and a door slamming shut on the girl's fingers, severing them. Back in the family's house, the walking corpse shoves a boy onto the dishwasher, impaling him full of cutlery. She jumps on his chest, pushing the silverware even deeper into his flesh. Okay, that was pretty gnarly. Maybe they are right. This is probably going to be the most brutal one out there before. If you haven't seen Sebastian's previous film, Infested or Vermin, you probably don't know that he does really push it when it comes to the gore and all of that. And I will say there was a lot of skin crawling watching that film. It is about these spiders that infect this building and they just have to get out of it. And I thought it was an interesting film. I vaguely remember it, but I do have a review for it if you want to go check that out, which I did like a couple of years ago. So I probably will link it somewhere here if you want to check that out. But I thought he really did a great job at really making you be like, ugh, as you watch the film. So if he's here putting it with Evil Dead like as a backdrop, the same energy he put into Infested, then we're probably in for a doozy. So this gets me excited to see what exactly Evil Dead Burn will be all about. Evil Dead Wrath is also coming from the director of The Last Stop in Yuma County, which is also a really great film I suggest checking out. But we'll talk about that once we get more information. This is all about Evil Dead Burn. Sam Raimi did say before that they were committed to making like a film every 2 or 3 years for Evil Dead, and it seems that they are holding true to that commitment. A franchise is brewing even more than before. The lore is expanding, and I'm open to seeing what they do with it. I still will say that my favorite is still Evil Dead 2013 or 2012. I don't remember, y'all. It's been a bit. I feel a little bit unk status here. But nonetheless, we are here. Evil Dead Burn sounds like it's truly going to push the boundaries of what we've seen before. Cheese Grater definitely was the best of the Evil Dead Rise. You know what I'm talking about. So we'll see if Dishwasher full of sharp objects can beat that one. And I'm excited. I cannot wait. But yeah, Lee Cronin's The Mummy today. He did Evil Dead Rise, which I was very loving it the first time I watched it. And then that was at South by Southwest. I don't know if the hype and everything surrounding that release and all of that being my first time at South by Southwest contributed to that, because the second time I watched it, I wasn't as hot on it as I was the first time, but I still enjoyed the practicality and the effects and all of that. as well. Just wasn't really there for the story for the most part, but I still think it's a very, very good entry. So I'm curious to see what Sebastian does with Evil Dead Bird. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions in the comments down below. If you're excited or not, what do you think about the footage description? Is this something that's giving you like Evil Dead vibes, or do you think that we have just beaten it too much and it's just like it's the same old, and I just don't know what they want to do with it anymore? But as long as they can do something intense, something gnarly, I think we'll always be seated for Evil Dead, right? Because that's always what I attribute the franchise to, is they push the envelope when it comes to seeing something so fucked up. So let me know your thoughts and your opinions in the comments below. What else are you excited at Cineacon? Gladys got a announcement. They are making a prequel to Gladys from Weapons. As I said, the Conjuring films are getting their spin-offs and sequels, and they're also making Longlegs a prequel of sorts as well. I do have that video on Longlegs, so make sure you check it out later today. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on Evil Dead Burn. Will you be seated or not? So Evil Dead Burn will release on July 24th, 2026. It has a pretty interesting cast as well, and it is directed by Sébastien Vaniček, who is the director of Infested or Burman. The synopsis of the film reads: a woman who seeks comfort at her in-laws in their remote house when she loses her husband in a car accident, but after she discovers of an ancient book, the family reunion becomes a hellish nightmare. So I'm curious to see how that is all going to tie in together and give us a cameo from Ash at some point, hopefully. Remember that when they were going to do like a whole thing with Ash as well as with Jane Levy's character from Evil Dead, and then we didn't initially get that, and then we got a video game that went down after some time. The Evil Dead franchise is all over the place, so I hope that they can sort of find a continuity now that we are going forward with a lot of films into the future. Fingers crossed we do get all those films, because I'm always curious to see what they do with it, but also I think this is such a great thing that Sam Raimi's doing for up-and-coming filmmakers to really break through and come with their own vision of the Evil Dead franchise, which is something that helps Sam Raimi's career really propel as well. So we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Follow for more on things you love. Cineacon announcements keep coming. Universal, we still have Disney, we still have Amazon. So a lot of things are still on their way. We're going to cover it all here or on our TikTok. Follow us there if you haven't already at Culture Elixir. And I'll see you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.
All right, yes.